other lies is Annie keeping from Joy? Is there much love in the Merrill family? What's really happening in the Marston house? And more importantly, are the first 3 episodes of season 2 of Castle Rock worth watching? We're going to talk about that and much more. This season takes place in 2019 and initially follows troubled nurse Annie as she travels the country with her daughter Joy, running from what we don't quite know yet and self-medicating herself with the variations of pills at various stops along the way. A car accident leaves Annie and Joy temporarily stranded in Castle Rock and leads Annie, under a different name, seeking employment at a local hospital, and Joy beginning to realize how disturbingly sheltered her upbringing has been. Definitely consider subscribing to our channel if you haven't already, and definitely leave your comments below what you thought of the first 3 episodes of Castle Rock Season 2 so far. Now, this will be somewhat of a spoiler review, so you have been warned. So if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes, definitely go watch them, come back, leave your thoughts below. But if you've seen the first 3 episodes like I have, you're definitely in the right place. So we're going to kind of talk about all the good that we've gotten so far in these first 3 episodes, and some things that I'm curious about as far as the season goes on. But as far as the first season goes, I'm not going to lie, I wasn't the biggest fan. Yes, Bill Skarsgård, Andre Holland, Sissy, all the actors and actresses were great in the first season. It just didn't sum up well for me as far as the storylines and how they ended the story and how they ended the season. So going into season 2, I wasn't that excited, but once I heard that it was going to be different characters in the same town, which I love the mystery of the town, because obviously it's taking place in Castle Rock and it has, all the different Easter eggs and all the different characters that we've seen from Stephen King books and movies. So I love that we were going back into the town, but with new characters. So going into this with a new slate really got me excited. And the first 3 episodes, just the first episode alone, I enjoyed the first episode of season 2 more than I enjoyed any other episode in season 1, if I'm being 100% honest with you. I love how the season just kind of builds on, Annie Wilkes. We obviously know her from Misery. I haven't seen the movie in forever, so this is kind of a reintroduction to me with this character. Obviously, there's some stuff in the movie that this show's going to touch on and kind of create on its own. But, we meet Annie and Joy at the beginning of the season. We see Annie is just disturbed and she has blood all over, and she has this, this box, and I assumed that there was something disturbing in there, but we later find out that that's Joy, and we see that over 16 years, I assume 16 years, that Annie and Joy have been continuously on the run. They've been from hospital to hospital. Annie takes her takes her pills to kind of, as she calls it, kind of calm her down and make her best self for Joy. So we kind of see that, and I love that we get that foundation from the very beginning of the season and the very beginning of the episode, and it kind of builds that narrative that you kind of feel for these characters in a sense, because Annie definitely isn't a clean and easygoing character, as we know later in the episodes, and in particularly episode 1, but you kind of get an idea of their relationship and how Joy look up to her mother. And yes, her mother does some weird things, but it's still her mom in her eyes. So I love that relationship that we get in the first episode. We meet the Merrill family. We see the dynamic between Tim Robbins and his family. We got Pop, we got Abby, Nadia, we got Chris, and Ace, who's a very pivotal character. We find out that Ace is not the biggest fan of his stepbrother. He's jealous that his brother is getting this mall. He just doesn't have the best relationship with his dad. So we kind of see that kind of building up, and he just comes off like a prick. So we see that he's going to be kind of our main villain. But as the episode 1 kind of goes on, we see that Ace threw the cocktail in his family's house, and obviously that wasn't something that was expected by Abby and Nadia. So we see that when that house was catching on fire, we see that Annie was there, and Joy saw Chris or Ace go off to the house. So that kind of sets the stage. That conversation that Ace and Annie have in the cabin. And when she puts that spoon in his mouth and just shoves it down and puts him in the... I loved all of the first episode. It was just so well developed. The characters were well done. The episode was very well paced. Such a good start to the season. It kind of transitioned into episode 2 and 3. It kind of slows down a little bit, but in the best way possible. We learn more about, how Joy and, she meets her friends, Chance, and the other people. So we're going to get more of that kind of relationship and see that Joy, who's played beautifully so far by Elsie Fisher, who I'm a big fan of from 8th grade. She does such a great job of just playing an innocent character, and it's a teenager that's kind of naive to things, but wants the best for people, including her mom, who's very unnerved and just has some skeletons in her closet. But we see that she's kind of developing this relationship with Chance and the other people. She gets her cell phone, finding out more about her mom, finding out more about different things of the world. So I love everything that we're getting with Joy so far. Again, Annie has just been so well done, played by Lizzy Caplan, who, Caplan, she's such a great actress and just is really doing a great job of bringing this character to life. We know she has a mystery to her. There's something to her. There's just layers to the onions. There's so many great moments with her. But, again, I love the family dynamic that we got from the Merrills family so far, too, because at first I wasn't really on board. I'm just like, I really want to focus on Annie and Joy and maybe, slowly throwing these characters. But after the first half of the first episode, and definitely in episode 2 and 3, we learn more about the Merrills family as far as how, Tim Robbins brings in this family, and we know he's a war veteran, and we're going to see how that plays out in the season. But he takes his family on, and it actually helps out all the refugees in Castle Rock and gives them jobs. And you think he's a nice guy, but we know there's more to it. He's taking money from these people month to month. He doesn't have the best relationship with his nephew and Chris. So we see that the family dynamic is really kind of very uneven, and definitely there's some tension going on. So I like how they set that stage up, and how, at first they think that Ace is missing, he might be dead, and they were blaming it on Abdi at first, but then he comes back to life. And as we learn more about the Marston house and the sacred ground that we got with Salem's Lot, we're going to find out more about that. So again, the first 3 episodes so far, I'm not going to lie, has done such a good job of throwing in flashbacks. We find out about the history of the Merrills family. We find out a little bit more about what's going on with Annie, and she reveals certain things to the doctor, and she's kind of giving Joy a little bit of truth, but also keeping a lot to herself about her dad and all that stuff. And again, I just think that these 3 episodes have done such a great job of establishing this world, throwing in the Easter eggs from the Stephen King books and movies, and even the previous season, which is another question that I'm really excited to see is, are we going to get any cameos from any of the characters from season 1, or is this going to be its own standalone series this time around? So I'm on board. I hope you are on board. I really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. Again, from episode 1 with that cliffhanger of Annie killing Ace. From episode 2, Ace is back from the dead, and then the way episode 3 leaves off, we see that Ace is now using the Marston house and killing other people, and they're coming back to life. So we're going to see what the grand plan is and what's up with all this resurrection of these characters. But we're obviously going to find out more about Annie and her background. Is Joy really her daughter? Did she take her from someone? We're going to find that out. And obviously, I believe, Tim Robbins' character, Pop, is going to eventually bite the nail. We see that he's suffering from, I assume, cancer. So we're going to see how that plays out, and his relationship with, he keeps certain things away from Nadia, and we're going to see that relationship play out. And of course, all the performances have been top-notch across the board. Standouts being Annie. I love what we're getting from the Merrills family. Everyone in that family is great. And of course, Elsie Fisher. So all the characters have been great. The stories have been really rich and interesting. And again, I have been a little bit optimistic about season 2, but these first 3 episodes have really got me excited, and I cannot wait to review episode 4 for you guys next week. So definitely keep an eye out for those reviews. Hit that notification bell so you can stay up to date with that content. We got some other reviews for TV shows on our channel right now. First episode of Watchmen, which we're going to be reviewing week to week. Every week, I should say. We got a review for Netflix, Living With Your Stuff last week, so definitely check out all that content. We got a review on our channel now for Countdown, which comes out on theaters this Friday, but we got an early screening, so check out that review. And so much more on our channel, so definitely subscribe and hit that notification bell, stay up to date with our content. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the first 3 episodes so far, and if you're on board for season 2, or if there's criticisms that you have for season 2 so far, let me know in the comments. So many theories out there. I want to know what you all are thinking. Thank you for watching this review. I will be back next week talking about episode 4, and I got some more stuff coming out for you guys pretty soon, so definitely keep an eye out for those videos. Thank you for watching this video, and we'll see you on the next one.